Welcome to Nifty 50 Photographers, and it's autumn and I just love this time of year. I think so many photographers do. We get so much colour and there's so many opportunities to go out and take some great photos. So I'm going to give you my 5 top tips for taking photos in autumn. If you're new to this channel, I'm Richard Gill. I'm a professional photographer, and on here I give tips and tricks on how you can take better photos. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing to the channel and make sure you turn those notifications on so you know when I release a new video. Let's get straight into my 5 top tips. Now, my first tip is go out as often as you can. The colours change almost daily in autumn, and it depends on the weather. You know, if we suddenly get a bit of frost or you get some strong winds, you'll find that the leaves have blown off, and it's the leaves that are going to give you the colours. So go out as many days as you can. Tip number 2 is try and find some water, and I'm going to show you why I've chosen this location. Now, for water, there are a couple of ways you could go. You could find a woodland stream, and I found a kind of example of that. Actually, it's a bit bigger than a stream. It's probably a river or a beck. I'm at a place called Hoff Beck, and we're right by Rutterforce waterfall. Now, the other option you can do is you could go and find a nice lake, tarn or reservoir, something with some really still water, because what you're looking for is those reflections, particularly if you can get the colours reflected. Now, here's some shots that I took earlier in the week up at Rydal Water, and it wasn't a perfectly still day, but it was pretty good. So I got some nice reflections of the trees in the water, and I'm pleased with the results. But let me show you why we're here. Now, as you can see this morning, it's quite a popular location. A couple of other guys here trying to take some photographs of this fabulous waterfall. And what makes it so special is the mill here on the right hand side. Just adds another dimension, and such a pretty scene. Who could resist it? Now, my tip number 3 is scout your location. And I came here in June and took some photos, and knew it would be great to come back here when there was a bit of autumn colour. I'm just going to move around a little bit so you can see more of the waterfall, and you'll see the leaves behind are just starting to get their colours. So I think it's going to make a nice photo. We're going to say sun rose about 20-30 minutes ago, so there's a little bit of colour in the sky. So I'm going to set up here on this bridge to get my first shot, and hope these other photographers don't walk straight into it, but I'm sure they won't be there all day, so should be able to get something. So when I say scout your location, you can take a physical visit to it if you can, if it's nearby and if that's convenient. If you can't do that, you can do that using some apps and web resources. So one of the things I would do is, first of all, you can look on Google, and if you look on Google Maps, choose the satellite layer, then you can actually see areas where there's nice bits of woodland that might have a stream flowing through them, or some other interesting features. The other thing you can do, if you live in England or the UK, the Forestry Commission runs a website, and on that they show some of the best walks you can do, and it's split by region, so you can find the best walk in northwest England or Scotland and so on. And there's an equivalent site in the US, and I'll put links to both of those in the description. Now, because I've been here before, actually, I knew this bridge was one of the best places to stand to get a picture of the force. And I knew also that I was going to need this bad boy today because the distance it is away. Last time I came, I only had my 24-70 and I found it just wasn't getting me close enough to the waterfall. So I'm going to set up with this. What I'm going to do is I've fitted a polarising filter. Now that's my tip number 4, because that will help to bring out the colours in the leaves. I've also fitted an ND filter because I want to slow down that cascading water and get that nice dreamy effect. So I've got a 6-stop ND filter on there. So I'm going to take a shot from here. I'm going to take one from a little bit further back so I can get the mill in it. Then we're going to walk up actually to the side and take a wider shot, which brings me to tip number 5. So think about close-ups and think about wide angle shots as well. When you get these colours, sometimes it's nice to focus in on a little tree or something that's got some extra special colour. So think about wide and intimate. Right, let's get these 2 or 3 shots in the bag. Then I'm going to move to a slightly different location. I'm moving to another location, and one of the reasons I was here early to scout the location. One of the things I said is good for you to do, but when I was walking around I knew there was the waterfalls there, but I wanted just to explore and see if there was any other areas which might be interesting. So I followed the river down a bit, and I don't know what you can see, but over here there's some lovely yellow colours in some of the trees, and I'm hoping that I might find a nice little scene. Well, there's a pheasant running forward in front of us, and another one just flying around there. But as you can see today, we've got an odd little patch of blue, but pretty overcast. Now, overcast works well for autumn colours. It's a nice soft light, and that's what you want. And wow, here we are. So this is what I was looking for. This lovely tree on the opposite bank there. I think it might be a small oak tree. I must admit, I'm not an arboriculturalist. Now that is a really difficult word to say, and I'm amazed I got it right first time. So, and there's a couple here. And what I'm thinking about, so I could do a little intimate shot of this tree, also thinking about the river, and perhaps, as you'll see, I came well prepared today, put my wellies on, so I'll probably have a wade into the river and see if I can get a nice scene to do that. So for this final scene, just let me talk you through the composition. The sun's just coming up over the hill behind me, and it's backlighting these leaves, so I wanted to capture those. Got a couple of rocks, one right in the middle up there, one further down, and we've got this nice water flow. So when I do that with a long exposure, it's going to create some light areas in the photo that'll all match up with that. Do one in a portrait style as well, because I think that'll also be interesting. And finally, I'm going to take a close-up of one of the trees as well, because I just love the amount of colour in it. Need to find just the right spot to be, because it's got a thorn tree in front of it which I don't really like the look of. I hope you've enjoyed this video and enjoyed the lovely scenery, and you're getting a chance to get out and see some of the autumn colours. Now if you have, do please give it a like, and if you want to share some of your photos, there is a Nifty 50 Photographers Facebook group, I'll put a link to that in the description. And I hope you come and join me next time in the next video.